Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, buonasera. Welcome to my course, Speak Italian Like a Pro for A1 and A2 level. My name is Ilaria, I'm 26 and I'm currently working as a freelancer as an Italian online tutor for foreign students. I'm creating this course for those who cannot commit to private lessons. Today we will learn together the basics of the alphabet and also the pronunciation in my native language, Italiano. As you can see, my files are bilingual in English and Italian. I will read for you the Italian part and then I will explain to you what I just read. As you can see, you always have the English translation just in front of you, so it will be way easier for you to understand what I'm saying while being able to get familiar with the Italian sounds and pronunciation. L'alfabeto italiano contiene 21 lettere. I lunga, K, X, Y e W non esistono. La lettera H è muta. Le vocali sono A, E, I, O, U e si pronunciano A, E, I, O, U. So the Italian language has 21 letters, 16 consonants and 5 vowels, which are A, E, I, O, U, and that's also how you pronounce them always. They never change. It's not like English. My name is a perfect example. Ilaria. My name has 4 vowels, and that's how you will always pronounce those vowels. I, la, ri, a. Always. That's very easy, and it's a great part of the Italiano because it makes it way easier to understand. So make sure always to open your mouth when you speak Italian. The letter H is always silent. What does it mean? It means that, for example, if we say hotel, we are not going to say hotel, but we are going to say hotel, like there was no H in front of the O. So we will treat the letter H as a vowel, basically. Attention, Italian, luckily, doesn't have any special character. We only use accents, so we may need an accent sometimes, and if we do need an accent, it will be on a word final vowel only. So you will never find accents in the middle of the words. Don't worry, there will always be on vowels and always on the final word vowel. We have 3 examples here. Perché, that means because, or why. Città, that means city, or even can mean town. And là, that means over there. This slide can be very useful for the spelling. I will now read all the letters for you. I will spell the letters for you. Later on, I will spell my own name and I will give you a few seconds to spell yours too. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I lunga, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, attenzione, W is W, X is X, and Y is Y. Z or Z is Z. I'll now spell my name and then I will give you a few seconds to spell yours. My name is Ilaria, so I, L, A, R, I, A. You have now 5 seconds to spell yours. Great. I hope this part is clear. I'll now teach you the pronunciation. It's called pronuncia in Italian. This will be very useful for you to be able to read like a native speaker from now on. From now on, yes. When the letter C is followed by A, O, U, the sound is strong. I wrote a few examples for you. CA will make a K sound, CO will make a KO sound, and CU will make a Q sound. So, cavallo, casa, colore, copiato, curioso, cucina. Attention! When C is followed by H and E or H and I, the sound will be also strong. So it's the opposite of English. CHE will make a K sound. CHI will also make a K sound. So duchessa won't be duchess, but duchessa. Zucchero, tacchino, occhio. The CE and CI will make a CE or CHI sound like cheers, cheerful, cestino, cena, cinema, cimitero. Long story short, even with G, the story is the same. Gagogu, gegi. Gallina, gabbiano, gomma, gomma, guardia, gufo, ghepardo, rughe, wrinkles, ghiaccio, funghi. Attention, when we have GE and GI, it's like C and C, so GG will be gentile geografia, giraffa, giuria. We said that C and C are CI and CE. What if there is a S in front of these two letters? The story changes. Unfortunately, it's not chi or che anymore, but it will be she and she, like shy, shining, sciroppo, cuscino, scelta, ascella. GN can be very familiar for Spanish, Portuguese, and French speakers. GN in Italian is gne, gne. Montagna, cicogna. Okay, always attention. Ignorance in Italian is ignoranza. So always pay attention when you see a word with GN. It won't be gne like in English, but it will make a ñ sound. It's different with GL. GL can be gl like in English or y, softer. How to know? How do you know when the sound will be strong or soft? It depends on the vowel following GL. So it can be inglese or gluteo, but it can also be maglietta or coniglio. So attention, when GL is followed by A, E, O, U, the sound will be gl. All the 99% of the time when GL is followed by I, the sound will be like in maglietta and coniglio. As it's written in my file, we also have very few words that can make a gli sound. So when GL is followed by I, they can still produce this strong sound, but there are really very few words, and I'm not going to confuse you today with more strange Italian rules. So let's go and let's skip immediately to the scioglilingua. in English tongue twisters, uh, I highly suggest you to read this scioglilingua out loud later on when you will be done studying the pronunciation. They can be very useful. I can also suggest you to uh, write them down on Google and try to copy and paste them on Google Translator. Google Translator can be a big enemy, but it can also be a good friend. In this case, Google Translator is a good friend. Google knows how to read Italian. I will read for you the first, the third, and the fifth scioglilingua. Sul tagliere gli agli taglia, non tagliare la tovaglia. La tovaglia non è aglio, se la tagli fai uno sbaglio. You can see GL is followed by I, so it will be gli. Mi attacchi i tacchi, tu che attacchi i tacchi, io attaccare i tacchi a te, attaccati te ai tuoi tacchi, tu che attacchi i tacchi. Number 5. Il cuoco cuoce in cucina e dice che la cuoca giace e tace perché sua cugina non dica che le piace cuocere in cucina col cuoco. For today we are over. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was very basic, and what I would like you to do now is to use this picture, okay, this image, use also the link that I attached in the resources. It's a link about, it will direct you to the dictionary, so you can search for the words corresponding to each small picture and find the words in Italian. Attention, letter H is a hotel, letter O is a goose, and letter P is a ball. Next time we will learn everything that you need to know about the gender, so how many genders we have in Italiano and which ones we have, and also so I suggest you to search for these words on the internet because they will be useful also for the next lesson. Grazie mille per essere stati qui con me oggi. Thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Ciao. Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, buonasera, bentornati. Thank you very much for being here with me today again. It's a big pleasure. Today we will learn together all the secrets of the gender in Italian, so how many genders we have and how to recognize the gender in Italiano. It's very easy, don't worry, but we do have a few exceptions. So, long story short, let's start. La lingua italiana presenta due generi, il maschile e il femminile. So we have the gender masculine and the feminine. Italian doesn't have the gender neutral, so we don't refer to objects and things with the pronoun it, but we do refer to them with the pronoun she or he. Of course, the Italian ones that we are not going to see today. So, di solito, per gli esseri animati, il genere è determinato dal loro sesso. Se è una donna, il genere sarà femminile, e se è un uomo sarà maschile. So, if we have a woman in front of us, usually the gender will be feminine. If we have a man in front of us, usually the gender will be masculine. Examples. Il bambino, la bambina. I'm sure that few of you, some of you already knows what bambino is. Bambino means child, so bambino specifically means boy child, and bambina means girl child. Why? Bambino ends with O. Bambina ends with A. So, what's the general rule about the gender? Normally, when a word ends with O, it will be masculine. And normally, when the word ends with A, it will be feminine. This is the general rule, but it's not always like this. We have masculine words ending with A, like il problema, the problem, but we do also have feminine words ending with O, la mano. La mano, the hand, is a feminine word ending with O. Attention, if you remember during the first lesson I told you that Italian doesn't have any original Italian word with the letters I lunga, K, X, Y e W. We also don't have words ending with consonants. We don't. If we do have, they are English, usually, or anyway, they are foreign words. Usually English words are masculine. Il computer, il notebook, il tablet. They are usually all masculine. On the right side of the screen, you can see a group, like few groups of words that are usually all masculine or all feminine. The names of the trees in Italian are all masculine: apple tree, pine tree, il melo, il pino. Il metallo, lo zolfo. Attention, the days of the week, they are all masculine: il lunedì, il martedì, il mercoledì, il giovedì, il venerdì, il sabato, but la domenica. Sunday is the only feminine day of the week in Italiano. When we refer to rivers, seas, oceans, they are usually masculine. When we refer to north, south, west, and east, they are masculine: il nord, il sud, l'ovest, l'est. Attention, we said that il melo, apple tree, is masculine, but what about the fruit? Usually fruit is feminine, always. La pesca, the peach, la fragola, the strawberry, la banana, the banana, l'uva, grape, they are all feminine. Even subjects, the ones that you study at school, they are usually feminine: la matematica, la chimica. Not all of them are feminine, but usually they are. So how do you know how to transform a word from masculine into feminine? You basically change the ending of the word. So look at the screen. If we have a cat, okay, un gatto, and we know it's a boy, we will use the word gatto ending with O. But what if the gatto is a girl? We need to change the ending, and we will call it gatta. Of course, yeah, we are not following every cat in the street to open their legs and check if they are boys or girls. This applies only when you know the sex of the animal and especially of the pet. Okay, so this is something that we do with pets, or even when we have a dog, we refer to the dog with cane if it's a boy, or cagnolina if it's a girl. I put for you a few exceptions. You can see 4 words on the left side: professore, principe, leone, studente. They are all masculine words ending with E, so they are already exceptions. As you can see, they change into professoressa, principessa, leonessa, studentessa. They change their ending into essa. But if you check on the right side, we have other words ending with E that they change into something else. Attore changes into attrice, lettore changes into lettrice, and pittore changes into pittrice. Attore means actor, actress. We have lettore, that means reader, and then we have lady reader, pittore, painter, lady painter. Then we have even words and that change from E into ina. Eroe, eroina, gallo, gallina, re, regina. Okay, now you know that we have exceptions, but how do you know uh, which rule applies to the words? You don't know. Unfortunately, there is no rule to know uh, how a word changes uh, when it changes the gender. So my best advice is to use the link that I touched at the end of the first lesson, the dictionary link, and just search on the internet or anyway. Uh, you need to learn them by heart. There is no other way. Attenzione, attention. We also have words that work fine with both the genders, like the word giornalista. Journalist is fine when we are talking about a man journalist or a lady journalist. And we also have names that change their meaning completely when you change the ending. So you are not really changing the gender, you are changing the word totally. An example is scopo, that means goal, a goal in your life. For example, that if you change it into scopa, means broom, the one that you use to clean the floor. Okay, so what did we learn today? Today we learned that if a word ends with O, it's masculine, and if a word ends with A, it will be feminine, but we do have many exceptions. So my best advice is to just study and learn words by heart. And also, if you remember, at the end of the first lesson, I told you that you could search for a few words on the internet, okay, to find out how to say tree in Italian, boat in Italian. Now that you have that list of words, you could assign the correct gender to each of them. Grazie mille, thank you very much for being here with me today. It was a big pleasure. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Ciao a tutti, grazie. Ciao a tutti, buongiorno o buonasera, bentornati. Welcome back to my course Speak Italian Like a Pro A1, A2 level. It's a big pleasure to have you with me today once again. Today we're going to study the articles, gli articoli in italiano. I highly suggest you to focus and to pay attention. This topic is very hard, difficult, and I highly suggest you to pay attention. In the moment you understand how to use the articles, everything else will be way, way easier. I promise. Again, the file is bilingual. I will read it for you in Italian and then I will explain to you in English. So, ho brutte notizie per te. La lingua italiana ha davvero troppi articoli. Siccome ci piace assumere il genere di ogni singola cosa, devo insegnarti tutti gli articoli che gli italiani usano. So again, we like to assume the gender of anything, and the articles also have to respect the gender and the number of the word. So they need to respect the gender if they are maschili or femminili, and the number if they are singular, singolari, or plural, plurali. When we are talking about something specific, these are the articles we are going to use. So on the left side, you can see the masculine and singular or plural articles, and on the right side, the feminine, singular and plural articles, again for something specific. Okay, attention. When we talk about something that is masculine and singular and specific and starts with a consonant, we use il, the first one on the left. Il. We can use the example il cane, il telefono. So why do we have also lo We use low with exceptions. When a word starts with S plus consonant, Z, X, NIE, or PS. Don't focus too much on the X, because the only word I can record is lo xylofono. And don't focus too much on PS, because the only words I can record are lo psicologo and lo psichiatra. Okay, so focus more on S plus consonant, because we have many words starting with S and consonants, and that also, it's very important. New, we even have few words starting with nie. So, il, with any word starting with a random consonant. Lo, you follow that rule. What about L apostrophe? L apostrophe is basically lo again, but we use it with words starting with vowels to make it sound smooth. What about lo amico, the friend? And what about l'amico? It sounds smooth, fluid. That's why we delete the O and we keep the L and the apostrophe. Il cane, il telefono, will change into I cani, I telefoni when it's plural. Okay, so I is the plural of il. And gli, remember, gli, the sound, is the plural of lo, either when it's the article of S plus consonant Z, X, N, and Ps, and also in front of words starting with vowels. If it's not clear, I highly suggest you to take notes and read it again. Everything that you need to know is written in this file. What about the feminine? The feminine is way, way easier. We have one article for the singular and one article for the plural. La is the article for that you need to put in front of a feminine, singular, and specific word. La scarpa. The shoe, la scarpa. That will change into le scarpe when it's plural. What about L apostrophe? L apostrophe again will be in front of a word, feminine word, singular word, specific word, starting with vowels. So, l'amica, okay, it won't be la amica, but la mica, all attached, l'amica. And it will also change into le amiche when it's plural. Okay, this should be clear, but what about when a word is generic? So we are talking about something generic, not that specific person or that specific thing. Before I told you, I gave you the example of il cane, il telefono. Il cane and il telefono will change into un cane, un telefono when it's generic. Attention, un is also used when the word starts with vowels. So, l'amico, L apostrophe, amico, will become un amico. Every word that needs lo will change into uno when it's random. So, lo zaino, the backpack, will become uno zaino when it's generic. What about the plurals? They is the plural of un when it's in front a word starting with consonants. But degli will be the plural of any word starting with vowels and also of uno when follows the rule of S plus consonant, Z, N, and PS. Now, again, the generic form for the feminine is way easier than the masculine. Again, we have only una when we are talking about something feminine, singular, generic, and starting with consonants, and un apostrophe when the word starts with vowels. Attention, the apostrophe is compulsory and it's very, very important. You don't put any apostrophe after un when the word is masculine, only when the word is feminine. Una and un apostrophe change into delle when the word changes into plural. I hope everything is clear. I know this topic is a bit confusing. I highly suggest you to watch the video again and to take notes. What about homework? So, again, take the picture of the first lesson with all the small images. You should have assigned gender to the words. Now you can assign the correct article, the specific one and also the generic one. Then you will find attached more assignments, very easy ones. Please study because this topic is very important and I'll see you next time. Grazie mille, thank you very much. Ciao ciao! Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, buonasera, bentornati, welcome back to my course Speak Italian Like a Pro A1 A2 level. Today we are going to study the pronomi, the pronouns, very important in any language to be able to build a sentence and of course also to conjugate the verbs. So we cannot conjugate the verbs without knowing the pronouns. So today we are going to study this beautiful part of the grammar and I wish you good luck and I hope it's interesting and I hope you have fun. So in Italian, the pronouns are these ones that you can see on the screen: io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, and loro. Okay, io is I, tu is you, lui is he, lei is she, noi is us, voi is you, plural, and loro is they. Something very important. If you have a book of Italian grammar, you will notice that they are missing. There are two pronouns missing, egli and essi. Okay. Why are they missing in my course? Because you don't need to know them. You can see them here, egli and essi. Egli is the same as lui and essi is the same as loro, but egli and essi are not used ever. We don't ever use them in any case. So I honestly don't know why they are still teaching them. They do teach them at the elementary school to children, to kids, but I don't know why. You don't need to know them. So just learn lui to say he and they and loro to say they. So if I'm talking about myself, I will say io sono Ilaria. I am Ilaria. Tu sei stupido. You are stupid. Lui è simpatico. He is nice. And loro sono stanchi. They are tired. Great news. Okay, as you listen to people speaking Italian, you will note that these pronouns are often omitted. The reason for this is that the verb endings that we are going to see in a couple of lessons tell us who is carrying out the verb. So it's not necessary to use the pronoun. Okay, I will make an example. Let's take a step back. If I say io sono Ilaria, I am Ilaria, the verb sono, that it's I am, basically. Io sono is I am. Sono is the verb essere, that's the verb to be in Italian. Sono is enough to understand that I am talking about me. That's why in Italian the pronouns are often omitted. So I can simply say sono Ilaria instead of io sono Ilaria, or sei stupido instead of tu sei stupido. lui è simpatico, I can say è simpatico only. And loro sono stanchi can change into sono stanchi. Ok. So keep this in mind. Of course, in the beginning, I suggest you to always use the pronouns to get familiar, okay, with them. But then slowly, you can just omit them, and also you will see how Italians don't use them too much. We use them when we really want to stress the subject. So we really want to stress that I'm talking about myself or about somebody else, but they are never required, actually. Okay, so the pronouns that I listed before are called pronomi soggetto because they are the subjects of the sentence. But what about the pronomi complemento? So how do I say he chose me? And I want to point to stress that he chose me. And how do I say let's call her? Okay, now we are going to learn this part. So attention, we have two ways, two types of pronomi complemento. One type is called forma forte, in English the strong form, and the other one is called forma debole, in English weak form. So the strong form is me, te, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro, and loro. The weak one is mi, ti, li, la, ci, vi, li, and le. What's the difference between the strong form and the weak one? You can see it on the right side. I'll read it in Italian. So, la forma forte dei pronomi complemento a sinistra viene usata in una frase in cui si vuole dare maggiore importanza al soggetto o al complemento e generalmente viene collocato dopo il verbo. La forma debole, a destra, si usa quando in una frase non si vuole sottolineare il soggetto o il complemento. Di solito si unisce al verbo. So, in English, the strong form that it is on the left is used in sentences which want to stress the subject or the complement, and you usually find it after the verb. The weak form, on the right, can be united, attached to the verb, and it's used if you don't need to stress the subject or the complement. Okay, again, if I want to say that he chose me, and I'm fighting with you to say that he chose me, not you, I will say ha scelto lui, ha scelto me. Me, I'm the chosen one. Okay, but I can also say lui mi ha scelto using the weak form. Ti guardo, I look at you, ti guardo, but I can also say guardo te. Chiamala, call her. Look how chiamala, look how the pronoun is attached to the verb. Call her, chiama la. Segui li, follow them. Follow them, segui li, attached to the verb again. So this is basically how you usually recognize if a pronomen is forte or debole. I mean, it's not important to know if they are forte or debole, it's important to know how to use them. Yes, so again, these are called pronomi personali complemento, and they are pronomi diretti. Why they are pronomi diretti? What does it mean? It means then that they answer the question who or what. It's actually a very complicated topic. grammar topic. We are not going to study this in the A1, A2 course, but usually you use the pronomi personali diretti, these ones, when, I'll make an example, lui ha scelto, he chose, who. Who. You don't need a preposition. So you put me. Ha scelto me. But let's say if I wanted to say I went to him, io sono andata da lui, da is a preposition. So in this case, okay, these pronouns will be used only when they can answer the question who or what. He chose who, me. I look at who in English, but in Italian, literally, it would be I look you. Chiamala, call who, her. Follow who, them. So always ask yourself, what's the question after the verb? Culture shock, as I said in the previous lesson, Italian doesn't have a gender neutral, so we don't have the pronoun it. So the masculine is usually used to include everyone. Okay, so if we are in a group of people and the group is mixed between we have girls and we also have boys, we will use the masculine to refer to the whole group. So it's not a big issue. Yes, we will use the pronoun loro, but masculine when we are talking about a group of people. Even the adjectives will be masculine, plural but masculine. We are going to see this another time. So it doesn't matter how many girls or boys there are. If a group is mixed, we will use the masculine always. On the contrary, if we refer to an object, we will give it a gender. So again, you already know how to recognize if a word is feminine or masculine. So we will assign a gender to the object, to the thing, and yeah, if you listen to Italians speaking English, Italians who cannot really speak English and they don't know that English uses the pronoun it, they will refer to things with the pronouns she and he, because we are used to it in Italian. Out of curiosity, on the right side, this is just out of curiosity for your information. If you are interested in following VIPs or Italian influencers on social media, you will notice how many of them started to replace the last vowel of the words with an asterisk. Why? Since our language likes to assume the gender of everything and everyone, now with the LGBT plus awareness, many Italian young people started to use the symbol asterisk to replace the last letter of some pronouns or adjectives in order to create a more inclusive Italian language. But for the moment, this is not accepted, and I honestly don't really know how you should read the words with asterisks. The image means everyone free, but they replaced the vowel with the asterisk, so you cannot guess if they're talking about men, boys, or if they're talking about girls. So they put the asterisk basically to include everybody. So I suggest you to use the pronouns to create few phrases. Try to use all three types of them, so the pronomi soggetto and the pronomi complemento forte and the pronomi complemento debole. You will probably insert words that you don't know, but again, you can use Google Translator and the link that I attached in the first lesson. Um, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Next lesson will be about numbers, but very soon we will also start learning the verbs and how to conjugate the verbs. So we will get back to the pronouns once again. Grazie mille, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Ciao! Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, buonasera, bentornati e grazie mille per essere qui con me oggi. Do you know what grazie mille means? Grazie mille is an idiom that means thank you very much. Um, Actually, mille means 1000. So when an Italian says grazie mille, it means thank you 1000, 1000 times. Today we're going to study the numbers in Italian from 1 to 10, from 11 to 19, and then until 1000. It's actually a very simple topic, especially if you already know a Latin language, if you already speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, it will be easy. But even if you are only an English speaker, don't worry. The numbers in Italian are very, very easy. So, what do you need to know? You need to learn by heart the numbers from 1 to 19, basically, because after that, they will all follow the same system, especially, so it's very important for you to learn the numbers from 1 to 9 to build any other number. But don't worry, you will also be able to download this file from the resources, and I just modified this one. You will see that you have the possibility to listen to my voice, so you will have my voice always with you, and you will have the possibility to listen how to spell each of them, basically. So you will have the possibility to download this file to practice with the numbers. Okay, so I will be the one starting, and you can repeat after me, basically. Okay, so 1 is uno, 2 is due, 3 is 3, 4 is 4, 5, 5 is 5, 6 is 6, 7 is 7, 8 is 8, 9 is 9, and 10 is 10, 10. Ok, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ok, 11, 11 is 11, 12 is 12, 13 is 13, 14 is 14, 15 is 15, 16 is 16, 17 is 17, 18 is 18, and 19 is 19. Attention, if you're Spanish or Portuguese, the 16 will confuse you. I know that in Spanish and Portuguese, 16 is something similar to 16. In Italian, no. In Italian is 16. So from 11 to 16, they all have the same ending, as you can see. And then 17, 18, and 19, they are special. So, yes, you will need to learn by heart from 11 to 19 for sure. And the rest, it will come natural sooner or later. How do you build the numbers in Italian? It's quite easy. So you just need to learn how to say 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, and then you attach the number after it. Okay, so I am 26 right now. So I don't know if you remember, 6 in Italian is sei. So to say I'm 26, I will say ho 26 anni. That's it. Super easy. Attention to 60 and 70 because they can be confused. 60 is sessanta with one S, and 70 is settanta with double T. Okay, so attention. So it will be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. To say 100, we say cento. Cento. How do you say 200? Due, cento. So in that case, you put the 2 uh, before cento. How do you say 202? Due, cento, due. Easier than this, I don't know. Always remember the numbers are usually written attached. So you just build them and you attach them all together. So 200 will be 200 and 400 will be 400 and so on. 1000, as I said in the beginning, means 1000 and you can use it to say thanks a lot. Grazie mille. 1000 is the only number that changes in plural. 1000 is 1000 and 2000 will be 2000. So every plural thousand will become mila. 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, and so on until forever. So if I want to say 900,000, 900,000, you take 9, 9, 100, 100, 1000, 1000, 900,000. Okay. We will see this later on when we will do the verbs. In Italian, you don't ask how old are you, but how many years do you own, do you have? So we will use the verb to have. And I answer, io ho 26 anni, as it's written there. And so now the numbers are usually written with no space in between. They are usually attached to each other. Unfortunately, even numbers have genders. Usually, if you refer to the days of the week, of the year, and even years in general, they are masculine. So, in this moment, we are in the 2021, so it's masculine. Il, article il 2021. Il 2021, ok? We don't divide the numbers like in English 2021. No, we say it. We say the complete one, the complete number, 2021. Okay. Something very important, attention, as you can see here, for example, the number 58. If you check 50 is 50 and ends with a vowel. When we put the 8 after it, you need to remove the last vowel of 50 to make it smooth and more fluid. This is basically compulsory. Nothing happens if you write 58, but it's not the same. It will be weird for a native speaker to hear you saying 58. You need to say 58, but of course take your time. Okay, so let me know how old are you. If you refer to car numbers, you will need to use the feminine. Okay, cars are usually feminine. So if you want to specify that you have a Fiat 500 or even a Mercedes or Lamborghini or Ferrari, they are all feminine. Even when you want to specify the model of the car, so you will use the feminine always. Okay, you will find some assignments in the attachments, and I suggest you to write down a few sentences using the numbers and trying also maybe to practice with the gender again, with the gender of the numbers. Anyway, they're usually all masculine. The numbers are usually all masculine. Thank you very much for being here with me today, and again, grazie mille. Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, bentornati al mio corso di italiano. Speak Italian like a pro, A1, A2 level. Thank you very much for being here with me today. During the last lesson, we learned everything that you needed to know about the numbers. And today I wanted to teach you something related to that. So we will learn how to transform a word from singular to plural. If you remember, when I taught you about changing a word from masculine into feminine, I told you that you simply need to change the ending of the word. It's basically the same even in this case. So as you can see, we have words ending with O, words ending with A, and words ending with I. O, E, A in Italian. Okay, so when the word is masculine, if it ends with O, you will usually take the I when it's plural. Example, lo spazio, gli spazi. When the masculine word ends with A, it will also change into I. Il fantasma, I fantasmi. And when the masculine word ends with I, it will change into I. Il cameriere, I camerieri. What about feminine words? When the feminine word ends with O, it will change into I, la mano, le mani. When the feminine words end with A, it will change into I, la finestra, le finestre. And when the word ends with I, it will also change into I, la moglie, le mogli. I want you to go and look for the meaning of these vocabularies. So I don't want you to learn it from me. I want you to go and search for this vocabulary on the dictionary. Okay, what about a word ending in ka or ending in ga? Okay, ka and ga are strong sounds. So, if a word is masculine, il monarca, it will change into I monarchi. When a masculine word ends with ga, il collega, it will also change into I colleghi. Okay, so the plural will be chi or ghi when the word is masculine. When the word is feminine, la marca, it will change into le marche. And when the word is feminine and ends with ga, la collega, it will change into le colleghe. Okay, so collega, that means colleague, can be used for boys and girls. Okay, so why do we do that? We do that to keep the strong sound. Ka will change into ki and ke, and ga will change into gi and ge. That's why you need to add the h to keep the ke, ge strong sound. That's why. Okay, attention, when the word ends with cha or ja, when it's singular, like la camicia, to keep the soft sound, it will change into le camicie. La ciliegia, le ciliegie. la marcia, le marce, la goccia, le gocce. If you check carefully, you will see that camicia and ciliegia change into camicie and ciliegie, and they keep the I between CE and between GE. If you check the word marcia and the word goccia, they lose the I. Why? And how do you know when you keep the I and when you don't keep the I? The rule is when the C, E, I have a vowel in front of them, you will keep the I even when it changes into plural. So if you check ciliegia, okay, G-I-A, in front of them there is an E, so there is a vowel, and that's why we keep the I. If you check marcia, okay, in front of CIA there is an R, a consonant. Also goccia, CIA, there is a consonant, a C. So this is a rule that the teachers that teach at elementary school to kids always check if in front of cha and ja there is a vowel. If there is a vowel, you will need to keep the I. If there is no vowel, you erase the I. And this is the rule that they teach to kids, and this is the rule that I still apply when I have a doubt and I don't remember how to change these kind of words from singular into plural. Okay, what about the feminine words ending with sha, like kosha? They lose the I, so kosha will change into le cosce, and la fascia will change into le fasce. What about masculine words ending with ko and go? It depends. Some of them will change into ki and gi, so they will keep the strong sound, and others no. Others will just change into chi and g. You can see the examples. Amico will change into amici, and parco, no. Parco it won't change into parci, but into parchi. Pacco will change into pacchi, and asparago will change into asparagi. The rule is basically like the one of the camicia and ciliegia. If there is a vowel in front of in front of co or go, it will change into chi and g. If there is a consonant in front of ko and go, it will take an h in between. So that's the rule, basically. When the names end with io, 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 like lo studio, they will simply lose the o. So lo studio, gli studi. Some of them will take a double I, but there are very few words, so don't stress too much about this. L'addio will change into gli addii, and il pendio will change into i pendii. But again, it's very rare, so don't worry too much. We also have words that change the ending, as if you were changing the gender. So dito, that is finger, when it's plural will be dita. And braccio, that is arm, will change into braccia. Osso, bone, will also change into ossa. And orecchio, ear, will change into orecchie. So orecchio, one, is masculine, but it doesn't change into orecchi, it changes into orecchie. We also have names that never change. Il re, I re. The king, the kings. Lo sci, gli sci. La foto, le foto. La moto, le moto. Every word with accent, every word that needs an accent at the end, like city, la città, will not change into when it changes into plural. So it will stay la città and le città, even if it's plural. And usually also English words like CD, that in Italian is CD, will stay like that. So we don't add the S when a word is English. We keep it as it was singular, okay, even for the plurals. So it will be il CD, I CD, il computer, I computer, il tablet, one tablet, due tablet, two tablet. We just keep it like that. Attention! Few words cannot be changed, okay? Like when you're hungry or when you're even thirsty, okay? Hunger will always be la fame. Blood will also be il sangue, always. And even feelings like fear, courage, paura, coraggio, happiness, felicità, they don't change. And we also have words that are only plural, like scissors, le forbici, or pants, I pantaloni. They are always, always plural. Okay, so I know there is a lot of information into this file, so I'm not going to give you any homework. I just hope you will go through all of this once again and you will hopefully understand. And grazie mille. Thank you very much for being here with me today. It's all from me. Un bacio. Buona fortuna.